And we are live! Hello, WordNerds! Happy Sunday! We are currently joined by a small piece of void in Helen's arms. So we decided to go live right on time so that we can get a nice shot of the cat over here. Helen, what's his name again? I can't remember.
Orf.
Okay. We were briefly joined by Orf this evening. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have yet another write-in where we're going to type all the words and get all the ideas out. So why don't we go around and talk about what we are working on? Feel free to leave that in the comments as well. Let us start with Helen.
I am working on an essay that is a close reading of The Poison Tree by William Blake. So I'm going to be writing about that tonight.
Yeah, love me some Blake.
Blake, honestly, great
Other
poet.
classic lit majors, woo! And how about you, Emma?
Yeah, I'm just working on drafting a fantasy project. It's been probably about a week and a half since I've worked on it, so probably gonna take me a few minutes to figure out where I was, what I was gonna do next. But...
All right, how about you, Desiree?
I'm going to be working on writing the show notes for my podcast because I launch on Wednesday, so I need to do that.
It's very exciting. In case people don't know, Desiree has a podcast coming out. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I have a podcast coming out. It premieres on Wednesday. My trailer is already up. You can find it pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. It's called Bingeology. You can also check it out at bingeology.com for some more information if you want to know.
Ooh, very cool. All right, and I'm going to be working on other school things as well. So I'm going to be working on some poetry because I'm taking a English metrics and prosody class.
Yikes.
At the other English student in the chat and understands.
We just had a class on that last week, so I'm like,
wild, honestly. And then part of it is like actually looking at poetry and talking about it, but then the other part is like I actually have to write some, and I'm like, oof, all right, time to dust off that like emo poetry kid in me and and get some stuff. So here we go, and we'll see what happens. I do have writing prompts for everybody if you do need them. If you're new here, hello. We usually have some writing prompts for each of our sprints. You do not have to use them, but you certainly can if you like. They're usually surrounding some kind of theme. And because I am hosting and because I have been listening to the audiobook of Raven Boys all this week, I am just like in that mood. So all of our writing prompts this week are bird-based. So yeah, and Raven's going to be one of them, but I'm not going to tell you which time. We'll probably do 20-minute sprints for the first two and maybe like a 15 or 10 minute sprint to wind down the evening. So we have, let's see, we did start on time for once. So we have a couple of minutes. So should we go at the 35?
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right.
We did have someone in the comments asking for links to the podcast, and I think that does put it in the private chat, but only Rachel can post it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I am my first time hosting on this new platform, so let me double check here.
We got this.
All right, I am posting it in the chat. There we go. That is the website for Desiree's podcast.
I looked at it again. I thought I misspelled it for a second, but I didn't. I was like, oh no.
Where will it send them?
I'm always worried that I'm going to misspell it. I haven't yet, but
it'll happen one day.
I know it will at the most like inopportune time.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so our first prompt, which again you do not have to use, is Sparrow. So your character's attention is flittering around.
I wish I was writing an actual book so I could.
I know. I was just thinking that. I was like, man, I can't wait to start working on my book again because I told myself like I just have to get my everything launched and set up properly, and then I can go back to writing. And it's gonna be great because I miss it.
All right, it is the 35. We will wait for 20 minutes, so I will see everybody back at the 55. That's how time works. All right. Good luck, everybody. And time for everyone. All right, so how'd everyone do?
Progress.
It's all we can ask for.
Exactly.
I have 300 words, which is pretty good.
Nice. I wrote like 41 and was looking up like how long should show notes be? Like, is there a rule about this? Apparently there is. So
I got 51 words, but when you're writing poetry, that's like,
That's a lot.
that's banging.
That's
So it's all right. And make sure to leave what your word counts are in the comments below. I know some of you guys use this, and you guys are superstars. And it's like, wow, how do you write that much? How do you write that fast? And I did see someone mid-chat ask in the comments, like, oh, what was the prompt? And I'm so sorry, I forgot to put it in the discussion. So I will make sure to do that at the next writing sprint. Well, why don't we do the next one at the hour? So we have a couple minutes here to just, cool down, hang out. If you have any questions, writing or reading related, please make sure to ask them in the comments. We'll be perusing those throughout the evening.
We do have lots of people joining us to write.
Oh, yes, it does. It does look like more people. Hello, more people that have shown up.
Headphone Books is working on a YA contemporary.
Oh, very cool.
Faith is listening while rearranging their bookshelves. Anya's also working on a podcast as well as their novel.
Yeah, podcast.
Elizabeth is working on draft 3 of a YA fantasy novel. Unicorn Fan 85. Oh, it moved. Is working on their fanfic, which is pretty rad. And Raquel is working on a YA dark fantasy.
Ooh, wonderful. Oh, we're starting to get some word counts in there. Lovely. Let's see. Is it Jana or Yana got 495, Sammy got 368, and Vanessa got 237. Awesome. That's good. I mean, I think one of our other word nerds who, she's not always on the live chats, but Kyra, she can write so ridiculously fast. And she's like, oh, I've got like 800 words in that last like 15 minutes sprint. And I'm like, how did you do that? Like, how? That's insane.
Yeah,
oh,
she
man.
is incredible.
Yeah. And I'm over here like, I got like 51 words. And I was like on a roll. So like...
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just say a quick hello if you're joining us. We're going to be doing some word sprints tonight. The next one will be at the hour in 2 minutes. So we do have writing prompts. You do not have to use them, but I will be giving you something if you need some extra inspiration. And we'll be answering questions, all kind of nerdy reading, writing related over that time period as well.
So I can't pronounce their name. Annie Calliope Argus asked if I would ever consider writing an audio fiction. And I thought about writing like a fiction, like doing a fiction podcast called A Dark and Stormy Night. That's like fully like sound effects and everything that has like flash horror fiction. And so that's something I might be doing like after I get bingeology off the ground. Like A Dark and Stormy Night is like my second like thing that I kind of want to do.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds really
That
cool.
would be amazing. Sounds like you've got 3 people who will 100%.
At least 4. Because,
Yeah.
Oh, there's another question. So why don't we just hold off on the sprint for just a couple more minutes? Vanessa asks, does anybody have some advice for fantasy world building? I'm starting to world build for my fantasy novel, but writing long-term fantasy is new for me.
I'm in that same boat.
Let's say I do think we have videos about this. Like I know we've done at least one live chat about world building. And I know there's some videos about like making maps. Megan's done a couple of tutorials with like map making software, so those would be good to watch. because that's a very big subject to get into.
Yes. If you go to our
question.
channel or our website, WordNerds or YA WordNerds vlog. WordNerds vlog? Just WordNerds vlog.
WordNerdsvlog.com.
I know my own website. And we have
search for
playlists.
world building, you'll probably find some stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But definitely like look at some of your favorite fantasy worlds and figure out like what details are included to kind of give you an idea of like what you need to be thinking about. And also, I think we kind of mentioned this, maybe it was last week when we talked about fantasy, which is also a good chat to watch. We talked about fantasy last week, so we touched on some world building. But it's really important that you not feel like you have to figure out everything before you start drafting. Like just go ahead and like figure out what you can and then write the book, and then you'll figure out like what you still need to fill in later. So.
Oh, and I'm going to pop this in the chat, but Helen put a very nice link of some world building videos right there. There you go there.
They were the two ones I found the fastest.
Lovely. Let me pop that second one in the chat as well.
And they're nice beginner videos, which is good. So
yeah, it can be very overwhelming, but try not to stress about it too much, because
especially
if you stress too much, you'll never start writing the book.
Yeah.
And you probably need to know less than you think you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
That is good advice.
It's very good advice.
Do you want to go ahead and start the sprint now?
I mean, yeah, sure. We're 1 whole minute off,
One
but
whole
I
minute
think
behind.
that we can do it. So your prompt for this time around, which again you don't have to use if you don't want to. Oh no, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh no. Oh, there it is. Okay. Your bird-related prompt is flamingo. A character is being overly flamboyant.
Amazing.
For whatever reason that you decide.
And now I really want to write my book now.
Oh, that's right. You have a perfect character for that.
I do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, we're going to be crazy. We're going to start at 2 minutes after, but I have a 20-minute timer, so I guess we will reconvene back here at the 22 mark. So I will see you guys all in 20 minutes. And that is 20 minutes. So, how did everybody do this time around?
More progress.
Yay!
I got about 240.
Nice.
I finished my one of the show notes. Now I just have to do the other ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got like 20 words. No meaning, like, don't mean to brag or anything, but you know. This writing class is interesting, but man, linguistics is so much more difficult than I ever expected it to be. The poetry class I'm taking is metrics and prosody, so it looks at poetry kind of from like, I don't know, 1400s to now, and like breaks down how we stress syllables and accents and how many beats we have per line and what different stresses or amounts of stresses per line mean, what they're trying to portray. It's wild and not at all what I was expecting, and it's so much harder to write it than I ever thought. But now I know properly what iambic pentameter is, so
Nice.
that at least got cleared up. Yeah, writing a poem in anapestic tetrameter is a lot harder than I ever expected it to be.
Yikes!
It sounds complicated.
I would
It's
not
very
want to do that to save my life.
Like, it's not complicated when you like break it down into like, this is a meter, this is this kind of foot, this is how many feet you have in a line, which means that it's this type of pattern, and I'm like, okay, I get that, but then like when in practice, it's so much more difficult.
I have like half a page left of my essay, but I've said everything I need to say, and I have my intro and my conclusion done. And
Oh, quotes.
Yep.
Time for more quotes.
It's a very short poem.
Oh, I see.
It is 4 stanzas of 4 lines apiece,
Okay.
and I have quoted every single line.
Oh no! Does it have to be a certain word count? Because some teachers are like, as long as you get the point across.
Literally the only thing it says on our little sheet is 4 complete pages, and I'm like,
oh,
3.5.
Damn! I'm so sorry, Helen. I don't have any other advice.
Okay, I will maybe go through and just make every period one size.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, have you tried the period trick? Because when in doubt, that's what I do.
I love the period trick.
Okay, I have never heard about this in my life. How is
I
it?
didn't hear about it until like my 3rd year of uni. It is literally just that like you go through and you up the size of the periods.
It doesn't work, but you
and
can't
it spaces out everything just a smidge more, and it's basically indetectable. But if you have enough periods in your work, it'll get you an extra like.
Oh
half
my god!
page.
The WordNerds do not condone cheating in academic essays.
It's not cheating. It is using the format for our advantage.
There you go. All right.
Work smarter, not harder.
Healthcare. Don't stress.
Well, there's plenty of people writing their word count in the comments. Good job, guys. Let's see. So Vanessa got 141. Jana got 314. Misty Kate got 82. But hey, that's more words than I got. Headphone Books is 340. Abby is 331. Elizabeth got 294. This is great. You guys are going strong.
Yes. Everyone's kicking butt.
I know. Just one paragraph at a time.
I know the chat just disappeared for me, but someone asked if we had any videos about short stories, and I just looked and I don't see anything. Is that something somebody could maybe? I don't know a lot about writing short stories, other than
I hate it. I took a class, a fiction writing class, and all we did was write short stories, and it was the worst experience ever. So.
I don't
really
mind
hate short stories.
I don't mind it. I kind of like them, but I just haven't done it much. Like I've done it. I took a creative writing class and I wrote a few for that, but I don't have enough experience to make a video about it. So
I'll see if I can find the link to Shaylin's channel, because she's been working on a short story collection, so she will probably have some great videos about that.
Okay. I know another person on RightTube that does something is Hannah Lee Kidder. She has a short story anthology that she has out, and she's a writer. Hannah and Kidder's Kidder. She's very funny as well, so she has good videos on that. But yeah, I don't know if any of us write short stories. Someone in the comments, Lizzie said that their cake was distracting, so they didn't write, and like that's a whole mood.
Understandable.
So,
Honestly,
yes, very. I wish I had cake right now.
Right? I made cookies this morning, so
Hell yeah, hell yeah! All right, I'm going to put in the comments. Let's see here. I literally just wrote short. I meant to write short story. So. Oh, it's been a long week, guys. All right, there we go. Here's some advice from Shay, who is not technically one of our word nerds, but apparently is another word nerd. So
I noticed that as
friends.
I copied her thing. I was like, interesting.
Maybe we should collab or something.
Yeah.
we have, haven't we, with Shaylee?
That way? I don't know.
I feel like I've seen her on the channel before.
Mm.
It might have been a long time ago, though.
Yeah, like I was thinking like a long time ago.
Like long before. I think it was before we auditioned for stuff.
So like at least 3
At
years.
least 3 years.
Well, it's been a while. Maybe we need to bring some new faces on here.
True.
Jazz it up a little bit. Not that we aren't all very jazzy.
Shailen is also
Jazzy.
from our part of BC, so
Oh, really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
she goes to Capilano, I think.
What?
Yeah.
She's like in my neighborhood? Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know that. That's so cool. I'm gonna have to go and like find her and message her. Yeah, in case people on the that are watching don't know, Helen and I used to live in the same city. Didn't know it, and then Helen moved 3 hours away from me, so we can no longer we can't just hang out in each other's houses.
I know. Although one of my friends is trying desperately to get time off to take me to Aaron's launch event at Metrotown.
Oh my gosh, I may meet you in person. That's wild.
I know. I'm so excited, and I hope it works. He's such a sweetheart.
That would be very fun.
I told him that I was sad I couldn't go because Greyhound doesn't exist, and he was just like, "Well, I have a car."
Oh, quick side note: someone in the comments put, or Misty Kate put, Hannah Lee Kidder is that is the person. So if anybody's wondering, thank you. That's the girl. Yes, and in case any of you don't know, one of our other word nerds, Aaron, who is not here tonight, has a book coming out, which is Ash and Ruin. And it's coming out on March 3rd, and she's doing a West Coast of Canada and also some into the States of book tours, and she's coming to my city, and I'm so excited, so that's going to be rad. So maybe Helen and I will get to see her in person again.
Yes. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it just passed the 30 mark. Should we just go wild and do it on the 35, or just be crazy and do it right now? I have one more prompt for everybody.
You're the host. You make decisions.
Oh God, that's true. I am the host. All right, well, let's just go wild. Let's do it in a minute. Again, let's just do it on the 32 like we did last time. So your prompt, which you do not have to use, but if you do, it's up to you, is another bird-related one, which is ravens. I saved the best for last. So in ravens, a character receives what they perceive to be an ill omen. Is it really? Is it just theirs? I don't know. That's up to you and your story. So
I love that so much.
Thank you. I love ravens, and I'm like, they're super cool. I don't get why everyone's like scared of them.
I like that a group of ravens is called a murder. That's like my favorite thing about them.
It's a murder of crows,
birds, which are the smartest type of birds. Ravens have problem-solving abilities in their brains.
I know, they're so smart. It's very neat.
I know. They're so cool.
Right. Okay, it is the 32. Oh yeah, let's just do a cool down round. Would you like to do 10 or 15 minutes?
I'm good for 10 minutes.
Sure. 10. We're all tired. It's been a long week. Let's do 10. All right. So
All right.
in 10 minutes, we shall all reconvene back here. So good
Sounds
luck
good.
writing, everybody.
Sounds good.
And that is time for everyone.
I was about to say, wow, that felt like it went by so much faster.
What if I told you?
Almost exactly half as fast.
Wow, wild. Well, how was the cool down for everybody?
Okay.
Pretty cool.
I feel very cooled down.
Exactly.
Okay. Why is it so dark out? It's no.
I know.
No. Why?
Soon, so soon, we won't have to deal with that anymore.
I know. I love in the summer when you can write until 7 p.m. my time, and there's still sun coming in. It's all nice, and I'm illuminated, and it's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
Well, please, if you're watching, make sure to leave your word counts in the comments, and we'll do some shout outs and talk about what we're writing. So Helen's essay is done? ?
More or less.
Awesome! You got lots of work done today. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your paragraphs done. Desiree, yes.
What? I'm sorry.
Okay.
My audio cut out for a second. I was like, I really hope they're not talking to me.
Oh no.
What did you say?
Did you get your podcast paragraphs done?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful.
I finished one of them, and now I have a good template, so the rest should be easy.
Cool. Emma, did you write?
I did.
Yay!
670 words total, so that's good.
All right.
And I figured out how the beats of the action are going to work in the scene too, which is part of what was taking me a while. So
cool. All right. Also in the comments, I believe there was some talk about some writing, and Vanessa asked, "What's a ski town?" And Helen and I, as people from BC, we get it.
She asked that because Misty Kate said that they're working on a book that's set in a ski town in BC, and now I'm curious what ski town in BC.
Wait, what? Is it different from where you are only 3 hours away from me?
Well, no, I'm curious if it's Whistler or it's somewhere else, because there's a ton of ski towns in BC.
I see.
Yeah.
A ski town is kind of like
it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a town that's for tourists to go and ski, and they usually have nice resorts and a pool and family-friendly activities, and you can rent a cabin and ski. That's it. Nelson!
Misty Kate's writing a book set in Nelson.
Oh my god, that would be incredible.
That's very close to, much closer to you than to me, but still pretty close to both of us.
Interesting. All
basically
right.
just a town in the mountains that has a lot of ski resorts that a lot of people go to go skiing. So a town where you ski.
There's lots in Colorado.
Yes.
Vail is one of the most famous ones, and it's in Colorado. Yeah. Yes, Utah has a lot of them. Park City is one where they do Sundance. It's a ski town.
One of our most famous ones is called Whistler, and it's beautiful.
I feel so bad. I'm a terrible Canadian. I've never been to Whistler. I also never skied, so there's that.
If it makes you feel any better, I only went to Whistler 2 years ago, and it was because my friend from the UK was visiting, and so my friend Corey was like, "We're taking you to Whistler. We're not letting you be in BC and be this close to Whistler and not see it."
I see. All right, we're getting some word counts. Elizabeth got another 143. Headphone Books got 251. Unicorn Fan 85 got another page handwritten. Ooh, handwriting. Yes, I salute you. That is very difficult. All right, good job. Well, apparently there was some writer's block, but people are working through it. Stay strong, you guys. We have plenty of videos on our channel as well. Just little prompt in there if you want to go check those out. There we go. All right, other people who haven't skied. Yeah, solidarity in the comments.
I have skied. I can't actually put my hand up for that.
I lived in Utah for 5 years, which is prime snow in the US, and I never went skiing or snowboarding.
My elementary school.
I'm an indoor being.
It's like I would have liked to learn, but it's like you have to like learn. You know, like it's not like you can just go and do it. Like you have to learn how to do it, and yeah. And I was a poor college student, so like
fair. Yeah. Headphone Books has been to Whistler.
Hey, cool.
But it was
they
April.
went there on a band trip once.
Interesting. And it was always fun to be like, wait a minute, I know where you live. I know where that is. You live near me, sort of, maybe. You've been to where I've been.
Also, a random person asked for ideas on how to force yourself to write. Lately, I have not been feeling creative.
Oh, I thought you meant like a random person. I'm like, oh,
no, literally,
username.
That's a very good question.
Getting out of the house helps me, at least, like going to the coffee shop or library, because then I feel silly if I go all the way out of the house, put on real pants, and then don't write. So like, I have to write if I leave
especially the coffee shop. Like if I buy like a $5 latte, I better do some writing while I'm there.
Make the latte a business expense.
Yes. It's like write things that make you excited. Like if you're excited to write this one fight scene, don't be like, oh, well, I gotta write the whole beginning and then do this. Like just write it. Like you know, you can always edit it later. Just do something that you want to do.
Even if it's something like not related to the book you're like supposed to be working on. If it like gets you excited about writing again, like give yourself like half an hour to work on something that you're excited about.
Also, we do live chats once a month of write-in. So you know, just saying, you have every opportunity.
Also, a lot of times my advice is like just like tell yourself you're going to write for like 5 minutes.
I was just going to say like,
or set a goal of like 100 words, just something really small and doable, and just do it. And then usually by the end of 100 words, then like the ideas start flowing a little bit better. And I find that if I started out being like, oh, I'm having a lot of trouble feeling creative, I'm just not like feeling the motivation to write, once I've written a little bit, then I'm like, okay, getting back into this again. I remember how to do this. And your brain kind of switches into that creative mode. So.
For sure. All good advice. Okay, well, we have reached the end of the night. Thank you, everybody who has joined us online. I can do a very nice reminder that we are here every Sunday, and we have videos twice a week for all your bookish and writing-related questions. I don't remember what we're doing next week, but we'll let you know.
I don't know. I don't think we set up anything for this month.
We were so prepared last month.
I know. But we'll let you know. You know, follow us on Twitter and on YouTube, like and subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll let you know. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. And I wish a good rest of the weekend, everybody. Bye. Bye.